Welcome back to my channel, Classic Volkswagen Lover Junior with Classic VW Bucks. Today it's going to be video number 2, wiring 101 for your 1971 Super Beetle. In our first video, I gave you some explanations of the wiring connections in colors and systems they were going to here in the rear of the car. Now I'm going to show you where the D plus wire, which is the red and white wire here, where the DF wire, which is the green wire here, and the brown wire, which is the ground wire, they connect to inside the car in the voltage regulator. Okay, so looking at your wiring diagram, I am going to show you here, this right here is your voltage regulator. And then the 3 wires that I told you about in the rear of the car are these 3 wires. You can see the red with a white stripe going to the D plus in your regulator. You can see the green, which is your DF wire, going into your voltage regulator, and then the brown wire nearby these 2 here in the back, which is this one right here, going into the ground terminal of your voltage regulator. So that's your wiring diagram in color, and now I'm going to show you in the actual voltage regulator where those 3 wires connect to. Alright folks, so I show you in the wiring diagram the 3 cables. Now I'm going to show you the physical or the actual connection in your voltage regulator. So the red with the white stripe, you can see that it's connecting to the D plus right here in your regulator. Your green wire, which happens to be this one right here, it's connecting to the DF connection in your voltage regulator. And your brown wire connecting to chassis, which is your ground wire. Alright guys, so let's take a look at the wiring diagram. This symbol right here represents your battery. Now we're going to be talking about these wires and where they connect and what wires are those inside the car. So first of all, let's look at the battery. So this is your battery right here, which happens to be this one right here. Now we're going to take a look at this wire that you see here in black. That black wire happens to be this black wire that you see here going through the chassis and connecting to your starter solenoid at terminal number 30 right there. Okay, so now let's take a look at this B plus wire that comes from your voltage regulator, comes up over and connects to the battery. That's actually this wire that you see here, which is red. This on top of it is basically a protective shell for it, kind of like a shrink wrap tubing. So it's a red wire that comes over and connects to your B plus right here. So we have covered that wire, and we have covered this black wire right here. You see this green wire? If you remember from video number 1, I told you guys that I had chosen to run a direct ground wire from the negative pole of my battery here to the back, because Volkswagens are notorious for having ground issues and therefore then your system not functioning properly. So now we're going to move back to the main loom right here, and remember that all of these wires are coming from the back and moving towards the loom and going through the loom into the front compartment. So now I'm going to select wires individually and tell you what each wire connects to what system. So beginning with this wire here, coming off your 61 terminal of your voltage regulator, That blue wire is the one that connects to your K2, which happens to be your generator charging warning light. Then this other blue wire that you see here with a green line, that wire also goes all the way to the front and connects behind your instrument cluster, and that wire happens to be your oil pressure warning light. Then this red wire that you see here, this is coming off from your starter solenoid, and that's coming off terminal number 50. And if you see here in your book, that wire, that red wire connecting to terminal 50 is this one here, and that wire goes all the way through and connects to your ignition switch over to a wire. It actually is a wire that is red with black stripes. And when we go to the front of the car, I will show you which wire is that one. Then we're gonna move over to this B plus red wire here. That wire, it's in my car, it's red with a white stripe. In some of the cars, this wire may be a solid red wire. That would be this wire here from B plus, coming off from B plus over, and then that's going to connect to your fuse number 9, to fuse number 9. And I will show you in front of the car where fuse number 9 is at, and I will show you how to look at this fuse terminal block here from the outside inside. Okay guys, so let's talk about this black wire. This black wire, it's coming from all the way from the back. This wire connects to your coil and runs through inside the loom all the way through into the trunk, and that wire will be connecting to your fuse number 12 inside the trunk, and I will show it to you on the next video. So now let's take a look at this gray wire with a red stripe. This wire, it's coming from all the way from the back, and that wire runs inside the loom all the way to the front trunk, and that wire connects to fuse number 1. If you look in your wire diagram, that would be this wire right here, and it's connecting to fuse number 1 on top. So for location and connection purposes, the top portion will be indicated as this here, and then the bottom portion will be this one right here. So remember, top connection, bottom connection. So your gray with red stripe wire connects to fuse number 1 at the top. Alright folks, so now I want you to focus here in these wires. The black with the green stripe, the black with the red stripe, the black with the white stripe, and the gray wire with the black stripe. So those wires run inside the loom to the front trunk, and those wires connect to a T2 connector that then will splice and connect to your light switch, and also will connect your signal lights in front, your running lights or side markers, and your headlights, and for high beam and low beam. So that explanation, I'm going to leave it for the video number 3 so that I can show you exactly where those wires connect to. Alright folks, I want you to take a close look and look at my rear window up there. There is a white wire sticking out from that pole right there. That's because my car has a defogger, and that wire right there connects to the defogger connection for my rear window. So that wire runs inside this panel here and it comes out, and that's this wire that you see here, which is connecting to terminal connector 87 in your relay for your rear window defogger, which is that one right there. So that connection right there, it's terminal 87. Then off at terminal 30, you'll see another wire, which is this one right here, is a black wire with a fuse holder that connects to your B plus in your voltage regulator. Then the small wire that you see here, this is a brown wire that connects from ground to chassis to complete the circuit. Then there's a little tiny black wire that it's coming from the loom that connects to terminal 86 in your rear window defogger relay, which happens to be this one right here. And that right there completes our tutorial for the inside of the wiring of the car. There are other wires right here that I'm not going to go over because I'm not going to be connecting those like I stated in my video number 1. I think that at some point the previous owner did some wiring in the car and used a newer loom for a 1972. Mine is a 1971. And I don't think that I'll have a need to use this wire right here. Next, we are going to move to the trunk area, where I will be explaining to you where each wire connects to and what system they go to. Until then, this is Junior with Classic BW Bucks. Stay put for video number 3. You want to watch that other video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my video with somebody. Until then, Junior out.